This episode of Bouts Talking Bouts is brought to you by Bare Knuckle Betting Shark. Winning parlays, if you're looking for them in BKFC, you got to be checking out BK Bet Shark. Here's the thing, $50 buys, you get a personalized bet slip. It's based on your own budget. You can be flexible. It is what works for you. And this guy's got the receipts. You can check out all the winning tickets. You can peep them, and you can do so at Bare Knuckle Betting Shark. Check him out on Instagram and get with it. Got them personalized betting slips going on, $50 buys. All right, on this episode of Bare Knuckle Radio, very excited to be talking to an individual who is slated for the co-main event of BKFC Prospect Series 2, and that goes down on October the 14th. We have Terry Needham knuckling up and towing the line against Morgan Starkey, and great having Morgan on the show for the first time. How's your day going so far there, man?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I'm just asking if you're getting in some good work today. Seems like you're getting in some good training.
Yeah, I've been getting some good training, yeah. Just getting that weight down. Last week, not too strenuous, but still get that work in, you know, get a good sweat on and get this last bit of weight off. What needs to come off.
Yeah, for sure, and just very close proximity to the fight, so I appreciate you making some time. I'm curious, because like certain fighters I talk to, it's usually, I guess, like a bit out from the fight, but the mentality seems to differ when I've talked to those same fighters a bit closer to it. Like, does your mentality differ a great deal when you're like a few days out from the fight as compared to, like, say, halfway through camp or something like that?
No, not really. I'm normally pretty much the same person all the way through, right up until obviously till I walk out to fight, and then obviously I just flick that switch into fight mode, and then obviously I change my mentality and stuff there and then, you know what I mean. Try not to get too invested leading up to the fight. Try just to stick to my game plans, stay on my training, try not to read too much into it, and just save it right up until bell, really, and then that switch goes, and then it's fight time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. And I was noticing earlier this year you had a bit of a return to fight time, at least in like a bare knuckle context. Like I was noticing you fought James Lilly in like the first quarter of 2018 there, and returned earlier this year. Like I said, after a 5-year hiatus from bare knuckle. Like what, I guess, led to that hiatus, and like as an extension, what motivated you to get back to it?
Just busy, just life, really. Getting married, having kids. All my fighting just got pushed out of the way, really. They just work and obviously getting started in life with my life and stuff. So, and then I don't know. Just thought before I'm too old to really call it a day, I want to have another crack at it. You know what I mean? And I feel like I've got a lot to offer to the sport. And I feel like I'm a wasted talent. Just obviously just not doing it. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, just more for myself really than anyone else. Just to, I wouldn't have been able to, you know what I mean? Like I didn't want that to go on. I didn't want to get past my 40s and stuff and think, I should have done that. I could have done that. I don't want to have to try and answer them questions later on in life. Do you know what I mean? So that's really what pushed me back into doing it. I feel like I've got a lot to bring to the sport and offer to the sport. Do you know what I mean? So I didn't want to waste my talent really. So yeah, that's probably that's it really.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense, man, for sure, but it seemed like your return back to bare knuckle was a very exciting night, just, getting on that BKFC 40 leads card and really opening things up in a big way with a sub-30-second knockout. That seemed like a mind-blowing, important night for you. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, it was mind-blowing, it was mental. Yeah, I actually got the record, so I've got the fastest knockout on BKFC in UK, so that was good as well, you know what I mean? Like, I've got that number one spot for fastest KO in UK. So yeah, just looking at that, just thinking about that, it's mind blowing. It's mental to come back, like to come out of nowhere and to do that, to put that in and pull that off. It was a big night for me. Do you know what I mean? And opened a lot of doors, opened a lot of opportunities for me. So yeah, I don't really know what else to say about it.
Yeah.
It's just the beginning, really, you know what I mean? It's hard. I want to get excited about stuff, but, you know, it's just the beginning, really, so you've not got to get too carried away with it, have you? Got to try and keep your head in it.
Yeah, definitely not resting on any laurels, but just kind of, you know, telling the story leading into everything. And it seems like an important part of that story is Rico Franco. Like, I saw even within that BKFC like 40 post-fight post you had there, like you were talking about, you know, seeing him around throughout the day and, you know, talking to him. And it seems like you guys have been training together for a few years, so that seems like a beneficial relationship there.
Yeah, I've known Rico. I've known him 10 years, Rico. I've known him a long time. Knew him from doing MMA. I met him, obviously, in mixed martial arts. Like I said, like 10 years ago. And we've trained together over years, on and off. And then, he obviously carried on his journey with bare knuckle and fighting and stuff. And I left it, do you know what I mean? I went off to do my own things for my family and stuff. And then he's obviously still in it and still active, so... And I obviously spoke to him and been around him a few times and stuff, and then just decided to jump back in with him. So, yeah, I just got back training with him. And yeah, just kind of went from there, really. He's helped me out massively as Rico with training and just, you know, getting me on the BKFC, you know what I mean? You know, put a few good words forward from it to Andrew Bakewell. And, yeah, I mean, Rico knows what I'm about. He's trained with me a long time, you know what I mean? And for someone like Rico to have faith and believe in me like he does, it's, you know, it's good, you know, it's a big backing to me, you know what I mean? It pushes me forward, you know what I mean? And to do good and do better, do you know what I mean? With someone like Rico behind you, you know what I mean, pushing you. So yeah, it's good.
Yeah, it just seems like a great dynamic you have over at AVT MMA Leeds. Like, seems like some of the very best guys from the BKB circuit are, you know, getting in that work there.
Yeah, they are. Yeah. The few lads work with Rico and stuff, and we all train at AVT together. There's Anthony Holmes, there's Rico, there's Aaron Blake. There's a few lads coming through now. Aaron Slim, Danny Mitchell. These lads are making their debut fights on BKFC Leeds next month. Is it 18th of November? I think it is. So yeah, we're all training together and getting that working together at AVT, sparring and stuff. So yeah, we've got a nice little unit going on, a nice little training circuit between us all. And it's only gonna get us, you know, all better. Do you know what I mean? We're all bouncing off each other, we're all learning stuff from one another. There's a lot of skill there. Do you know what I mean? In between everyone, and because I was saying the other day, it's not, you know, like, because it's still early days for BKFC in UK. There's a lot of lads coming from, like, boxing, kickboxing, you know, MMA, K1, and they're all bringing, like, a different style to the table, do you know what I mean? So and everyone we've got in that circle there, they all come from a different mixed martial arts. So it's really good. We're all learning bits and bats off of each other. You know what I mean? Different skills, and yeah, it's really good. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was noticing that you have an MMA background, like on Tapology, I believe it was indicating you have around 10 MMA fights over AMI and Pro, at least like on that particular aggregator. I guess I'm bringing that up because there are some obvious aspects that are taken out, like the grappling, kicks, etc. But how much carryover from MMA benefits you in bare knuckle, just with the active clinch fighting and BKFC and all?
Yeah, just probably like I said, like the clinch work, and maybe like the up and down movement, the low center of gravity, so what you get from the wrestling side of it, and you know what I mean, like your level changing is really, you know what I mean, like you can bring a lot of that over, which is really good in bare knuckle, you know what I mean. If you get that level changing as you're coming forward and stuff, and it, you know, like you sort of like wrestling stance and stuff, it's really strong movement, you know what I mean, to be throwing punches off back of them. So yeah, I'd say more like that, like the wrestling side of it, and more that sort of stuff, like the lower centre of gravity and stuff like that, which is really good for bare knuckle. So yeah, bring a lot of that through.
Yeah. Yeah, just interesting in the context too of your opponent, seeming from what I can tell at least having mostly like a gloved boxing kind of background. And obviously it's a brand new sport and there are different variables and you guys have skills and the opposite ranges, but does it almost boil down to like maybe you'd be looking to kind of like close that distance, make it more of a dirty boxing centric kind of like dogfight, and maybe it might behoove him to kind of, you know, fight at range with his like more boxing kind of background that he has?
Yeah, like, I mean, yeah, probably just, you talking about my fight with Terry, like, what am I, you know, like, what am I bringing? I'm struggling to. I'm just saying that again. I'm struggling to.
No, worries at all. I'm just saying, like, maybe from a layman perspective, someone like Needham, maybe it's his, you know, strategy to like fight at range more so, whereas maybe a layman might think with your MMA background that maybe you're trying to make it like a dirty boxing, clinch centric kind of fight. Is that kind of how it breaks down almost?
Yeah. I mean, with him being a boxer, like you said, he'll be more keeping it at range. You know what I mean? He's long enough. Whereas with MMA, you know, with me being a short guy, I'm pretty used to being in close. You know what I mean? I'm pretty used to coming in low, you know, and getting underneath. So that's obviously what I'll be looking at. You know what I mean? I'll be looking at getting in close to him and taking that length, taking that range away from his shots, getting in tight. So yeah, that's what I'll be doing. Yeah.
I mean, it probably helps too that you're entering for your fourth bare knuckle bout here, and he's a debutant in this sport. Like, I would think your experience specific to this sport would be a big variable in your favor, also.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, like, if he's a fighter, isn't he? And he's from Liverpool, so he's not, you know, he's not never had the bare fist across his face, has he? You know what I mean? Like, he'll have had plenty of street fights, I would imagine, but when with boxing, it's just, obviously, it's not a street fight, it's not over in 2 or 3 seconds. It's, you know, when you're fighting and you're boxing someone who's trained to fight and box with you with bare knuckles, it's totally different kettle of fish in it than obviously having a ding dong in street for a minute or two. But yeah, I mean, yeah, different. Like, it's hard to explain. Like, it's when you get it with them knuckles, if you get it clean, it's lights out, and there's no really. When you start taking clean punches with bare knuckle, it is a different kettle of fish. Like, you get a lot of cuts. It's like being hit with razor blades. You know what I mean? So yeah, he's obviously gonna think, what the fuck, when he starts taking them punches, mate. But like I said, it's my fourth fighting now, like, and I'm still learning all the time. But I feel like I'm there now. You know, like I've had a couple of losses. I've had a good win. I went distance with James Lilly. You know, I had like a 3-round fight with James Lilly. So I got some good ring time in there with him, with bare knuckles, and took a lot of shots and give a few back. My last fight, I kind of rushed it. Took my eye off at ball, and I got caught twice. You know, bad under eye, cut me bad under my eye, couldn't see. So yeah, I've kind of experienced, you know what I mean, like a bad, you know, not a bad loss, but I've experienced some serious damage. Like last fight, took some serious damage under my eye socket. I've experienced that knockout win, and I've had that fight where it's been back and forth and it's gone distance. So I feel like this fight now, this is my fourth fight in, and you know, you're gonna see, it's all just gonna come together. You know what I mean? You're gonna see this, like the hunger, the savageness, but you're gonna see like control. You know, like control and patience. Where my last fight, I felt my last two fights. You know, the first fight where I got the knockout, you know what I mean? Like it, I don't know. It's hard to say about that, but the last fight I was a bit impatient. I kind of felt like I tried to take off in that last fight where I left in the fight before, if that makes sense.
Yeah, for sure.
So I tried to hit the ground running. You know what I mean? Well, you know, should have had a minute, got a feel for it, had a move about, stepped away, you know what I mean? And I was a bit too eager to take off where I left off, and I shouldn't have done. And I paid for it. So I've learned from that, you know what I mean? So this fight now, you're gonna see it all come together, you know what I mean? It's gonna be, the skill's gonna be there, the patience is gonna be there. And that finish will be there when I see it, you know what I mean? So, yeah, it's going to be good. You're going to see the best version of me on this one, for sure. Definitely.
Yeah, for sure, and very much wasn't trying to overlook Terry Needham in this fight, but very much is a sport, I think, where it's like very telling, like that first fight. Like you either dive right in and you're with the rhythm of it and everything, or sometimes you can kind of get swallowed up by it a little bit. But also just in the context too of like, I guess the myriad of experiences you've already had in this sport that you've already outlined, like fighting someone who contended for BKFC gold and going the distance, and your two BKFC fights playing out the way that they did. So it seems like you've got quite a bit of experience going into this, but also, I guess, in saying all of that, like, I feel like your style lends itself to the kind of show that this is, just being that it's like a prospect series, like giving someone a contract based on quality of the performance. Like, does this kind of framework lend itself to your style? I would think you would kind of perceive it like that.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously, you know, this is what we're fighting for. We're fighting for a contract, and it's definitely, you know, lit the fire. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's because we've been presented with that opportunity where, you know, if you win this fight, you're getting a contract sort of thing. Like, it definitely suits me more, that sort of reward, you know what I mean? There's definitely a reward there worth fighting for. And yeah, no, I'm not overlooking Terry at all. I know he's going to come, and he's a good boxer. I've watched him box, and he's a southpaw, you know what I mean? Like, so I know he's going to be a bit tricky, his movement and stuff. But yeah, I've got my game plan. I'm sure he's got his, and I just guess, you know, better man will win that night. But you know, he's going to have to turn up, you know what I mean? Because I will be turning up with my head on Saturday night. There's no standing in my way. Yeah, I'm fully switched on and ready to go for this. So yeah, like I said, you know, I'm ready for it to go wherever it goes. If it has to go distance, it'll go distance, and I'll just, you know, I'll box with him all the way through. If there's a finish there, there'll be a finish there. But like I said, I'm not. Them last two fights are kind of like visualised early finishers, whereas this fight I've not visualised any sort of finish or any early finish. I basically visualised going the full fight with him and having a proper boxing fight with him. Do you know what I mean? So if all else comes up, it'll come up. If it doesn't, I'm ready to go distance with him. You know what I mean? And like I said, I'm not counting Terry out. He looks a good lad, and yeah, it'll be a good fight. Be a really good fight. You know, I'll turn up, he turns up, and we're gonna have a good fight. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Ready to go.
Yeah, and I think the people that follow Bare Knuckle are really looking forward to this as well. And I mean, I'm stoked for this card overall. It looks great, but I also want to be mindful of your time and schedule. I appreciate you making some time to talk just a few days out from fight night, Morgan. So in saying that, is there any final parting thought you might want to add as we're kind of wrapping up here, man?
No, not really. Just just make sure you're watching. Just tune in. I'm sure everyone will be watching. But yeah, it's going to be a good fight. It's not going to disappoint in this fight. I won't be disappointing. I'll be turning up, and like I said, wherever it goes, it'll go, and it's going to be a good night.
Yeah, very much agree. And October 14th is going to be a great one with BKFC Prospect Series 2 going down. And to reiterate, appreciate you making some time to give insights ahead of this Terry Needham fight. And just you have a great rest of your day, man. Thank you.
Yeah. Cheers, man. Thank you.
This episode of Bouts Talking Bouts is brought to you by Bare Knuckle Betting Shark. Winning parlays. If you're looking for them in BKFC, you got to be checking out BK Bet Shark. Here's the thing. $50 buys, you get a personalized bet slip. It's based on your own budget. You can be flexible. It is what works for you. And this guy's got the receipts. You can check out all the winning tickets. You can peep them, and you can do so at Bare Knuckle Betting Shark. Check him out on Instagram and get with it. Got them personalized betting slips going on, $50 buys.